I think I'm going to quote you in one of your words because every time I've watched a video that you've talked about outcome-based contract, you've always used this word win-win, right? So I want to open up that that Pandora box or whatever you might call it. I want to open that up. When you talk about win-win situation, right? You're talking about both the company wins and both your company as well wins. And in terms of winning, my understanding of the outcome based, you're talking about sharing the risk. You're talking about sharing. I don't know in some scenarios, maybe sharing incentives and all of that. Can you throw some shed more light into what kind of risk your company shares with another company that you partner with?
Yes. So, so this is all about what I call de-risking the client. The first risk that the client is taking when they do technology project is a financial risk, and this is a very big risk that they are taking, right? So in the past, they had to go with a lot of upfront investment. Nowadays, with subscription-based model, the upfront investment is a lot less, but still, right? The expectation by default is that there's a lot of money that has to be paid, and hopefully some result will be there. So that's number one risk that is really, really important. And again, with this win-win model, we are sharing the risk, which means that financially, we are basically allowing the client to wait to see the result before they sign the check, which is something that is quite refreshing for our clients. So this is the financial risk. What we are also sharing is what I would call operational risk. When you are introducing automation, digital workforce in a given environment, and you are automating a given process, and you are releasing the people doing this activity so they can do something else, you are introducing here a risk, meaning the digital workforce that you are creating is becoming business critical. Especially if they are replacing entirely or they are replacing a large portion of the human workforce doing the work. So if something happened here, you're gonna be in a situation very similar to I have none of my employees showing up at work. So the operational risk is also something that we are totally sharing with the client, and our commitment here, on top of de-risking from a financial standpoint, is to also de-risk from an operational standpoint. So for us, building a solution is very important, but even more important is running the solution, right? People tend to minimize the automation ops. People tend to minimize the effort it takes to run a digital workforce. People are focusing on building, people are focusing on the technology, but the operational side of automation is very big, especially if if you are scaling automation, if your footprint is big, the operational activity is going to be big to maintain those digital employee, and therefore the risk there is also really big, right? So for me, those are the two biggest risks that we are sharing, and that we are really we are really focusing to de-risk the client on those 2 points: the financial risk they are taking and the operational risk that we introduce when we introduce our, let's say, automation or digital workforce.